excited to be sharing with you what's going to happen on this webinar. I had some experiences this week with getting an incredible amount of traffic from a strategy that I've been studying for the last couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks with Doug Crow. And finally, I wanted to do it enough times to figure out what the traffic was to say, look, it's time to share it with you all. I have to tell you, this is something that's not social media, but it's even better than social media. And I don't understand how all this works, except for Doug is here, Doug Crow's here. He's going to explain exactly how you do this in order to get 1,000+ targeted hits to your website or other online asset in like 48 hours. Now, in my case, in 48 hours, over 5,000 hits. And I'm going to show you the hits once we get there so you can see exactly what that meant to a website. And hopefully you guys are excited about, as I was when I saw the results, and you're excited as what's going to happen. Now, it's all content. There's no pitch. This is just for you guys to understand what you need to do in order to take advantage of this new strategy that actually I've never seen before, and I've been doing this since 2007. So this is brand new. I hope you guys are excited. Raise your hands if you can hear me, and we'll be ready to get going. So I see the hands going up. Awesome. Good, good, good. Great. Okay, so we're going to get going. Doug, are you here?
Yes, I am. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. I'm going to mute my mic, and let's go.
Okay, very good. Yeah, 48 hours to 1,000+ targeted hits to your website or any other online asset. And when we say target, that means creating a hungry crowd of buyers. And the overall strategy is sort of neat. We're going to talk about how to become an authentic expert. I highlight authentic there because there's plenty of people who say they're experts and they may not be authentic about it. And we're going to do this without having to blog or Facebook or tweet or podcast, any of that jazz, how to sell and leverage their brand by becoming recognized media mavens, media darlings, and we're going to use this very, very highly professional system to get that traffic to your site. So a brief introduction. Who is Doug Crow? Who is this guy? Well, I'm a former ABC radio host and business owner. I'm the founder of Author Your Brand, and I'm a journalist with Newswire. And I work with professional entrepreneurs to eliminate the overwhelm and some common myths of becoming a recognized expert. And we'll talk about what that means here in a second. Let me ask you if any of this sounds familiar to you as a business owner entrepreneur. Maybe you had a website built. Maybe it cost you $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 or more to build a website. Maybe you did some LinkedIn stuff and built your LinkedIn profile and spent some time on it, right? It's money. Everything requires time and money. Maybe you got a YouTube channel and start to make videos and put that on there. Or you started a blog. Hey, everyone should be blogging. That's where you get found online, right? Or maybe you're going to do some Facebook stuff and start posting on Facebook and engaging with people and trying to build people to follow you. Time and money is all related to this. Maybe you're going to spend some money in SEO and try to search engine optimize your website or landing page. Or maybe you'll even do some advertising with Google AdWords. Or perhaps you'll do like some of my other clients and actually get a book done and spend a huge amount of resources, time and money to get a book printed, published, and out there as a bestseller. All these things most online marketers are told to do. And you know what? Marketing costs money. It can be overwhelming. The conventional authority of what you do here, however, with tweeting and Facebooking and RSS feeds and all that stuff, it's really a common delusion that this stuff all works seamlessly. There's an old saying from what's that one movie, Field of Dreams, right? With that ghost talking to Kevin Costner saying, "If you build it, they will come." How many of you out there, by a show of hands, have built it and they're not necessarily coming? See a show of hands on that? Some of you there? Yeah, okay, right. You've built stuff. You spent time and money building all your assets, but you're not getting the traffic that you really think you deserve. So after you build it, it's all about the traffic. Without that, nothing's going to happen. You can have the absolute prettiest website, the coolest video, the greatest blog post, but if nobody reads it, it's the tree. Does the tree make a sound? If it falls, tree falls in the forest, do you make it sound? Do you hear it? Not necessarily. Matter of fact, the answer is no. Without traffic, nothing really matters about what you've built. So we're going to talk about targeting traffic directly to you so you can, number one, create consistent content that matters, engage authentically, create some relationships with that, maybe build some trust, break barriers to sales, sell effectively. Meanwhile, you also have to do a bunch of other things. You've got to fulfill, leverage your assets, manage your products, create sales funnels, optimize your, this is what all Jim's great at, optimize your processes, hire outsourcers, lead your team. There's so much to do. Is anyone overwhelmed with this stuff? I've been doing online marketing like Jim has for a number of years, and I've built funnels, I've built sales pages, I've done all this stuff, but actually pulling it all together and actually then having to monetize it and get the word out, it's overwhelming. There's no question. There's a lot of work to do, and no single person can do it all. A typical marketer, in fact, spends about 6 hours per day on social media, email, fulfillment, and other non-sales activities. And most of those, on average, spend about $25,000 a year on marketing plans and gizmos and widgets that, quite frankly, don't always do so well. And according to the survey, most internet marketers earn less than minimum wage. So all that effort, work, and time is really, that social media stuff, blah, blah, blah. Your competition is published. Your competition is recognized. What about you? What about your knowledge? Quite not, frankly, if you're not really being recognized in national media, your knowledge, your experience is totally trapped and, quite frankly, unknown to your audience. So your position of who you are and your position in the marketplace and your niche, sorry to say it, but you're sort of insignificant, and because of that, you may feel lost when you're online. The results are very clear, all right? There's absolutely no cash value with excessive social media engagement, PR, blogging. It's all sort of worthless. I'm going to talk to you today in the next 40 minutes about becoming a media darling. It's an old expression. And what this means is this. We're going to talk to you about a 3-step process. Very, very simple. We're going to hijack trending news stories. We're going to insert your expert commentary, and then you must continue a strategic ongoing campaign to do these, to actually get what you want, which is build instant trust, branded credibility, and of course the result of that is more sales. So an example, Jim asked me to put a very clear example. This is a very conservative example. Let's say you only had a $97 product and you only had a 10% conversion rate. Well, if you had a decent sales page and a simple product, 1,000 targeted hits, a 10% conversion on a $97 product, well, that's close to 10 grand. If you had a $500 product, that'd be $50,000. And that's all through a properly positioned news story. So in a nutshell, we're going to talk to you about networking with journalists, being the commentary in the news, not just being a salesperson, but actually having some opinion and commentary. And we'll talk about campaigning your message on a consistent manner, because news is very fleeting. And if you don't do it consistently on an ongoing basis, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And here's an example of one of our clients who had a book, and he did a news and media campaign, created a #1 bestseller, and increased his consulting fees. Oh, there's no sound right now? All right. Well, he's saying really good things right now. I can tell you that. Lane is one of our clients and maybe Amazon bestseller. Here's some other examples of some press releases and news stories that we've done. This one was for a lady, Tracy Trottenberg, who was doing a female leadership program, and we ranked her news story above the Huffington Post. Huffington Post ranked at 6. Our news release ranked at number 2. This one of our clients was doing as an esthetician, and her client was Ali Fedotowsky, basically a reality TV star. Her news story, the news story we did on the esthetician, ranked higher than the celebrity's own Facebook page. So anybody knows about things about page ranking and SEO can tell you that's pretty impressive. Here's one of our clients actually beat Forbes, one of our friends from down under, Robert Curry, who came out with a book, Feed a Starving Crowd. And we did his news story on him. He got a #1 news slot, and on the same topic of small business, Forbes story ranked number 5. We ranked number 1. That's the power of being a media darling. Here's an example of Jim's campaign we just did this week, in fact. And this is what he did. He's got a global traffic seminar coming up. And Jim, you want to talk about this for briefly? Go ahead.
Yeah, so just 3 days ago, Doug actually did his magic, and I reset this right before then, and we had over 5,000 hits to this one website for the Global Traffic Seminar coming up in July. In the last 48 hours. Now, that's huge, guys, because honestly, the only other way to get hits like this is with Facebook ads. And this is the other way, but it's getting traffic from people that are highly targeted because they're seeing what Doug had written, and they're clicking on the story, and then they're clicking from the story, which is a backlink to my website, and which is increasing the ranking of the website as well. So huge credibility here, and I cannot wait to do this again and again and again. To see what this is going to do for ranking, in addition to what's it going to do for sales coming up. You can see we've got some sales already there, but it's just amazing what's has happened, and this is proof, guys, right here. Proof this week, 48 hours, 5,000 hits, all from this one thing. We haven't been promoting anything else related to the Global Traffic Seminar, and this is a week where it just went only from the work that Doug did.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. It was a lot of fun. So here's what we're going to teach you during this presentation, very, very simply. I'm going to teach you how to position yourself to get guaranteed and recognized media mentions, how to eliminate that overwhelm, because we're going to cover a lot of stuff pretty quickly, and how to get the benefits of people coming to you. And this is absolutely the new and very fast way to leverage your brand. So why this may be important to you now is that, quite frankly, most marketing and branding advice is dead wrong. Issuing just a simple press release is sort of ridiculous, in my opinion. Engagements, getting people to, come to you and engage, and it's hard. And getting on TV and radio news is even harder if you want to do it well. And overwhelm in all these areas can lead to inaction and some, quite frankly, some very false and ineffective positioning. The game of media has definitely changed. You've got to do it in a very intelligent manner. We're going to cover that right now. So this is for you if you're a professional and you want to be recognized as a true authority, or if you want to be positioned as the go-to person the media calls, right? And if you want to have a waiting list of hungry clients, you're going to enjoy the next few minutes together. Quick house rules. This is not for the get-rich-quick folks. If you think we can, just because we can get you traffic quick, does not mean that you can go ahead and make $1 million in a day. You've got to actually have something legitimate to offer your tribe and your community. It's not for fake experts. You can't be an expert and hijack the media and not be authentic and true and honest with what you have to offer. Now, also, my results I'm going to share with you today are not remotely typical. All right, that's my big disclaimer right there. And quite frankly, most people who actually do invest in PR or media training, they never really do anything with it. So that's just the human nature, quite frankly. So, quick confession to that end. I have an advantage over most people. I have some experience in this industry. I have a professional team to back me up and a network of influence. And I'm going to teach you how to access that as well at the end of this our time today. So here's the insane opportunity Jim mentioned. I want to repeat this though, but there is absolutely no sales on this webinar. We're not going to pitch a dime. We're going to just talk and share and go to Q&A at the end, all right? So imagine this scenario. What if you were suddenly written up in the news and quoted as the expert and authority in your field? And what if your opinion was suddenly in great demand, regardless of your length and time in business? And what if you became recognized not by your own admission or by your YouTube channel, but by a news agency as a go-to person in your niche? Sound like a stretch? Well, I used to think it was too until it happened to me. You see, a few years ago, like most business owners, I was a relatively unknown, slightly struggling entrepreneur. And using the 3-step system I'm about to share with you, my business exploded. It felt like it was overnight. I went from an average business guy to becoming really a very unknown person in Chicago. I became an ABC radio host, and I even earned over $800,000 in a single day using this 3-step method I'm going to share with you. So what got me there, what really put me over the hump, was recognized media mentions. Okay, I was speaking about real estate investing in Chicago, teaching people about 200 to 300 people a month at my seminars. I got to fly around the country and visit other real estate training clubs, etc. And my radio show started to take off in Chicago. I first started on WIND, then worked over to WLS. I interviewed people like Robert Kiyosaki and his wife Kim. And WLS was a great time for me. I had a good time there in Chicago. It was an ABC affiliate. And as recently, I've become a journalist with Newswire, which is what I'm going to share with the details about how that works for you guys on today's time. All right, so everyone knows that being in the news works. I'm going to share with you why that is and how you can do it. It only works, though, if you're positioned in the right manner. In order to do it right, you need to follow actual proven, tested formula. So if you can take notes, this is the time to start taking notes. In fact, if you're using typical PR right now and maybe you're not getting the results you want, it probably has nothing to do with your business experience. And yes, on one hand, it does have a little bit to do with who publishes it. That's important, and how professional the writing is. Because at the end of the day, it's not how your media looks or even exactly what you say, in my opinion. It's all how you are positioned in the news stream. And I'll tell you about that in a second. Because the three-step formula for saying it right is really quite simple. Here it is. You ready? Very, very simple. Number one, follow trending news. Most clients, most experts and authorities and business owners, they come out with their stuff. They want to talk about their stuff. I'm going to tell you to ignore yourself and your products and your services. That's not important right now. The very first step, follow trending topics. What's happening right now? Okay? People could care less about you, your company, or your product. They just don't care, right? Nobody cares about your new widget. People follow popular and trending stories. It's interesting. It's it's looking at the car wreck. People want to know what's going on. Your audience is already following major events, right? They're distilling these events from credible sources. Following the news, quite frankly, is often it's an escape from people. They have challenges in their everyday lives, so they go to the news to see how somebody else is doing better or worse, most likely worse. And they want and need to improve their life and business, but become lost in searching online. People get distracted, and they go from place to place. So what's the solution to this? I want you to think about combining them, combining the solution with the news. Here's what I mean by this. I want you to think about your expertise and trending topics and pulling those two things together. And I'll give you some clear examples here in a few minutes. Why this is important is really critical. Instead of trying to distract them from what they're already reading about, get in the way of where they're already looking. If you take any notes and retain anything for the next few minutes together, that's it right there. Most, matter of fact, all advertising, without exception, all advertising is pretty much interruptive. It's interrupting what they're already looking for. I'm on Facebook looking at my friend's stuff, and an ad has to really pull me away from where I was going and distract me and pull me to some new thing. Okay, that's very traditional advertising. There's channels that are, watching the TV show is meant to sell ads. So the TV show has to be interesting enough to keep you around to display the ads, right? So instead of trying to distract people, I want you to think about injecting yourself where they're already looking in the news, right? And we're going to call that news jacking. We're going to not hijack, we're going to news jack. Because technically people need and want to benefit from your commentary on popular stories. They want your services, but they might not know how to find it. So we're going to not interrupt them. We're going to just insert you inside those popular stories. Now the trick here is to become aware of the trending stories, spinning your content by commenting on that story. And then most importantly, this is critical, relate it to them. You've got to relate it to their individual personal needs. Step two, after you've followed the trending news, you've got to create compelling commentary. It can't just be blah, blah, blah. It has to be quite compelling. Obviously, this can be controversial, but it can also relate to a direct benefit you can deliver from your products and services to your target audience. But I want you to focus not on the stuff, right? Talk more about the trending story and potential benefit to the reader than your new whiz-bang, the new iPhone. I don't care about that. People care about what benefit is to them and how it can relate to what they're already reading. Your news story should be a direct commentary about the trending topic and contain an idea about them and their desired outcome. What are they actually looking to achieve, right? Really, really got to hone in on your target client's benefits, what they're looking for. And that commentary has got to be thoughtful. It can't just be, oh, I'm thinking about you guys, I want you. It's going to be thoughtful commentary of what they're already interested in. Does that make sense? Raise your hands if that makes sense on the chat thing there. Okay, good. You get it. So we're going to create a newsworthy angle, and then, of course, have a properly formatted news story. It can't just be a blog post, right? Then, of course, we do want to create a tease or a tangible, payoff for the reader. It's got to be something that, hey, how can I get this? How can I get what this guy's talking about, or understand more, learn more, or find out about his product or service? There's got to be a payoff there. Then when you're done with that, that's step two. Here comes step three, very simple. Time for syndication. Once your news story is injected into the trending topics, has your thoughtful commentary, now it's got to be shared. You can do this with a single news story, but as Jim had mentioned, you can't do it with one piece of online content. It's got to be syndicated to hundreds or thousands of pieces of content, and that can be syndicated through the low channels of, somebody's Facebook wall or someone's commentary on their blog post. But I'm going to focus on doing it through major media channels here. And that means it needs to be newsworthy. It has to be about the news topics. It has to be shareable. Some people want to share it because, wow, did you hear about X, right? And people have to share it willingly. We're going to share some. We're going to spike the punch here. We're going to actually inject our syndication tools to make this happen for our clients. But along the way, the story has to be compelling enough that people want to share it on their own. And the way to do that is it's got to relate to basic human psychology. Human interest stories, and those can be anything from holidays. It could be celebrities, or it could be anything. It could be sports or politics, science, or even human interest stories, right? It doesn't really matter what it is. But those types of stories people follow and share willingly, and you've got to insert yourself in that news stream. Any news that can be linked to your... So think about your business right now, and think about a trending topic. This is where most people get a little bit lost, and this is where I come into play here. It's how I can help you connect your product, your services, your company with trending news stories. For example, let's say a celebrity is arrested for something, right? And you happen to be a life coach. It's important to craft a story that keywords that celebrity, because people are buzzing about the most recent rapper who got arrested for something. And you as a life coach will offer some commentary on that. You're not going to publish this yourself. You have to have an actual bona fide news agency do this in conjunction with your story. But your story, it'll be about about that particular celebrity and how your solution may have prevented or could have prevented it if you had been there. But the bulk of the story is about the celebrity. It's not about you. That's a really key thing here. It should be 80-20 or 90-10 in terms of content. 80 to 90% should be newsworthy, and only 10 or 20% should be solution-based or talk about where they can go to get more information. That's very, very minor. Sometimes it's only as simple as a single link in your news story. Here's another example. Let's say it's holidays coming up, and that's a very good time to newsjack holidays. So whatever the holiday is, whether it's a religious holiday or a personal holiday, doesn't matter. Whatever holiday is, whatever you're selling can be a perfect Mother's Day gift, and that does take some spinning. If you're selling, light bulbs, why would you want to buy those for mom's holiday gift? Well, you have to actually create a news story about, or find a person who was perhaps had their power shut off, and this grandmother didn't have electricity for a number of weeks, and your company came in and paid her light bill and gave her 5-year supply of light bulbs. Okay, I'm just making this up as I go, as you can tell, but anything can be spun towards a holiday. No matter what you are creating, selling, or marketing, you can spin it towards a holiday, and this is where I can help you with that. Or another example, let's say there's something not so happy. Let's say there's a scandal reported. So let's say the Veterans Administration reports a scandal, and there's some corruption going on with the Veterans Administration. Gosh, that's a tough one. I'm not going to really help out the vets necessarily. I'm not going to actually go on there and fix a scandal. I'm not going to go and lobby for more transparency in government. But what if it just has something to do with the Veterans Administration, and you decide to say, I'm going to do a little PR on this. I'm going to donate a percentage of my profits for the next 30 days to the Veterans Administration, or in the United States, the Wounded Warrior Project. We just did a book launch for a client who had a fictional book, and her book had a theme in there. It was sort of a slightly dark theme. There was a suicide in the book. So in order to launch her book, we made our bestseller in this week, in fact. We donated 100% of the profits of every single book that was sold this week towards the National Suicide Prevention. And that got her huge press for that topic. Not because of her book was so great, but because we decided to do something altruistic and beneficial to somebody that really needs it. And that's newsworthy. That's really good news when you not bad news, but it's taking a tragic situation and turning it into a positive outcome. So no matter what your topic is, no matter what your business, project, product is, it can be spun and it can be positioned in the news stream, but it takes some creative thought, some experience to pull that off. And the bottom line with that is, when your newsworthy story is shared by others, it is now it's not part of the interruption of advertising. It actually becomes part of the news stream. Your story has got to be syndicated to pull this off, guys. And the reason is Google, they love stories, and stories that are shared socially, especially through recognized media channels, do very, very well. That's how Jim's, single news story got picked up by hundreds and hundreds of other news channels and started to get shared not just through the news channel or the news syndication network, but socially as well. And there's a bunch of places that do this. I'm going to tell you that when I did this for the very, very first time, the same three-step formula I just shared with you, trending topics, commentary, and syndication, the very first time I did this, I helped me sell over $32,000 with a single news story. Okay? And now that you know what to do, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. You ready? It's very simple. I call it authority fusion. Okay? It's getting your story told and posted in Google News. It's just that simple. It gets picked up by major media outlets, and these major media outlets are not just newsworthy, but they're also, print, digital. Matter of fact, there's so many media partners we have here, I can't even go through all of them with you, but they're the big ones. The big search engines are also part of that. Major newspapers like, Boston.com, Daily Herald, Travel Weekly, Emerging, Tri-State, Pristine Report, Atlantic Report. I'm going to go through a whole bunch of them here, but just to give you an idea that we have connections, our syndication partners will take your news story and blast it everywhere. And these are guaranteed pickups by our news channels. Our partners pick these things up. So Fox News, ABC, right? CBS, NBC. I even have channels into CNN with the right exposure, the right story. So all these places will be our syndication partners for your news that we're going to do. And it's not just on the news media. It's also some industry-specific areas as well. Let me show you some of the industries that we target. It could be financial. It could be real estate related. It can be health, or it can be wealth, or a whole bunch of them here. Here's some industry sites: renewable energy, bioengineering, a lot of things with finance, of course. There's a whole bunch of those. And we're not just talking about specifically to a country. There's also international. And, of course, all the social media websites are also done. RSS. It goes on and on. I can keep going here. All right. The most important thing is that when you do this type of news syndication, your story gets ranked above other stories. It does not go down to the an Alexa ranking down into the tens of millions. It is in the top several thousand of Alexa ranking. It gives you authoritative exposure. When we take a story, like we had a solar company, and we linked it to national politics. We had an image of the president looking over some solar panels, and we geo-targeted this news story to the client. They were in, where was it? This was in Nevada. So our news, the company was only located in Nevada. They were not looking for national or international exposure. They were looking just to target their local area. So we could geo-target this news story, so it got great play in Nevada, and didn't, some news agencies picked it up anyway outside their market. We can't really prevent that extra exposure, but we drilled really hard and got a whole lot of pickups and stories shared in her direct market there. It also, in terms of higher search ranking, here's Jim's thing he did for within 24 hours. Just on Newswire alone, they have 1,300 views out of that 5,000 that he garnered. And, of course, the positioning that goes way beyond news, it goes obviously to other places as well. In this case, it gets picked up by Reddit and LiveLeak, and not just once, but several times, which all relates to what we want to achieve through getting that more exposure, that more targeted traffic, which is earning more money. Okay, so let me give you a brief overview of how this works for me so you get a feeling for how big this can be, because I mentioned earlier that, yeah, we can do easily 1,000 targeted hits to your website, and if you got a $97 product, if you got a 10% conversion going on, you could easily make 10 grand. In my case, I did a little bit more than that. I founded this real estate education company a few years ago. And for 4 years, like a lot of you, I promoted it, I marketed it, I even had a mid-sized outbound call center looking for new clients. And up to that point, like most clients or most entrepreneurs, we struggled a bit. And making money, we did well, but we did it all with outbound marketing. We went to trade shows, and we advertised, and we did referrals. We did all the conventional marketing that everybody else does. But after a few years, I was like, you know what, guys? I want to do something different. I want people coming to me. I don't want to keep out doing all this outreach and advertising. I want people to pick up the phone and say, I heard about you here. I want you to hire us. So I learned about newsjacking, and it was really cool because The PR strategy that I followed is the same formula I'm giving to you right now. There's not a single thing that's different about it. My very first media mention, right? I get an interview, and in my mention, and when I say mention, I mean it was exactly 2 lines where Doug was mentioned basically for 2 sentences, got picked up by MSNBC and Yahoo Finance. And what happened after that was amazing. I was merely quoted in the article. I did not sell any real estate. I did not sell any real estate training. I just gave them my commentary on this topic about real estate. And even though I wasn't a journalist at the time, and I was doing okay in Chicago, but there were certainly experts who were more qualified than me. But by using the 3-step newsjacking system, which is trending topics, commentary, and syndication, we acquired 5 new clients from this one article, and the result was quite amazing. That'd be a cool $32,500 in consulting fees. Okay, now that cost me at the time, because I hired a PR firm to get me in the news. It cost me 10 grand. Still a good return, right? 300%, not bad, not bad at all. But I started thinking I could even do this without spending money on the PR agency. So I learned about newsjacking, and I started building my authority with local things. I didn't go national right away. I started with local magazine, got a pickup on a broadcast TV station, and radio. I was really big in radio. That's why I started actually being a broadcaster on the radio. My next seminar that I did for my real estate education company, we sold about $3.2 million of real estate in not real estate training. This is actually selling real estate in about an hour. And it was a really fun seminar for us to do, quite frankly, because that program netted the company, me personally, over $800,000 in just 2 hours. And I've gone on to use this system, the exact formula, to help other authors and coaches and businesses achieve any results they can by using the exact same formula. And now I'm going to share it with you. Okay, it gets even better. Because you see, right now I'm a senior journalist with Newswire. That means I'm not going to just issue a press release. I can guarantee you a mention, a commentary, some status, some authority in the news. Okay? So let me ask you a question. When you look at these slides here, I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, but I want you to think to yourself, which one stands out? These are friends of mine. This is Jonathan Astley. He's a dating coach. He's a dating relationship coach for women, right? See that image? Now look at this one. Now look, the banner there, as seen on ABC, CBS, eHarmony, right? Dating Without Drama. The bottom one obviously stands out more. Here's another one. This is Bart Baggett. Bart, he's got a couple of best-selling books there. Great guy. There's his headline on his website. Who's talking about him? I don't know. Today Show, Court TV, Stern, okay, America's Most Wanted. Okay, that makes him stand. That establishes him as the authority. Here's a good friend of mine, Sherry Meyer. Okay, Sherry, beautiful gal, great website. Look at how the red coloring, the branding on that. This is gorgeous, right? I trust that. I would trust that person, wouldn't you? Sure, it looks nice. But that's not her website. This is her website. All right, she's got media mentions. She's been on these, picked up by these broadcasts, whether it be digital or on air, right? That gives her huge credibility. You look at that second image, and you're like, wow. She is not just saying she's great. Other people are saying she's great. Okay, so that's the other thing I want you to think about. It's not what you say, it's who's saying it. And that's what we're talking about here with this whole newsjacking program. So here's the deal, guys. Very, very simple. If you want to put these on your website in the next 48 hours, we can do it. It's not that complicated to do. It takes a little bit of thought. It takes some unique positioning. And it really takes some connections, quite frankly. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second. So the way to do this is, number one, like I said, there's nothing to sell here, but I do want to talk to you. So to learn, to find out what you're all about, what are you selling, what's your company, what's your website. So in order to do that, we need to hop on the phone and schedule a call with me. Step 2, we'll talk about newsjacking a story featuring you as the expert. Okay. And step 3, if you qualify, then we'll write up, publish, and syndicate your story to over 100 recognized media channels. Okay, it's just that simple. So we're going to learn to laser target the correct influencers using local, national, and regional news outlets. And this is not a press release. This is real news. And the process, I said, is simple. and there's absolutely no risk to it because your story, once you're approved, is published in the Google News and picked up by major media channels. And this is all guaranteed. And it's the bottom line is that it's your unique story. It's authentically delivered by the media, not by your Facebook pals. No offense. They're great people, I'm sure. But when the media says something, people stand up and listen. So it boils down to the frustrations we've all had as marketers versus the benefits. We've all seen, we've all experienced the how media mentions actually work. And you know, being a published expert will actually set you apart from the competition. And becoming a recognized commentator in that news stream does create more sales. I've done it myself. I've done it for my clients. The exact system I've shown you, the 3 steps, trending topics, commentary, and syndication. It's the exact system I've used to personally build my brand, and it's exact methodology used by other 7- and 8-figure experts in nearly every field. Now, the question is, will it work for you? I believe you can do it too. Here's what I want to do with folks on the call today, all right? If you want to apply for consideration as one of our entrepreneurial media experts, and what we'll do is review where you are and how you want to be positioned. So what we do is we take a, hop on the phone, review your competition, your individual strengths, weaknesses, and any untapped opportunities. If there's a fit between us, we'll custom design a media campaign plan just for you, and we'll create a compelling story so you'll be positioned as the expert commentator. And I'll give you a tactical blueprint to create, publish, and monetize your message. And that will happen after that is that you can ramp up quickly with the secrets I'm going to share with you about other recognized experts, so you can leverage your image and your brand and your business into a very bankable asset. And I'll give you a comprehensive media training to show journalists and broadcasters you are a great guest. There's no way you're going to get on national shows without some media training. They're not going to put somebody on there without the experience of doing the right sound bites and being a good guest. The benefits of our conversation together will be you'll get an overwhelm-free plan to help you create inbound leads and high-ticket products so you can start profiting from this. And you'll do this by using a simple but effective authority fusion media strategy. And as you've been paying attention, you realize this is something that nobody else is teaching out there. Everybody else is teaching ads and organic traffic. That's great. But being inserted in the news, being infused in the news is what really works, and works very, very fast. So, steps are quite simple. I want to be the disclaimer here that not everybody qualifies for this. The retail value of my time on the phone with you is about $1,000, but I'm not going to charge anybody because Jim told me not to sell anything in this webinar, so I'm not going to. There's absolutely no charge for this conversation, all right? And if you qualify, I'm also going to give you some bonuses. Jim, this is something I didn't talk about, but I want to give your people my media training program. It includes 21 best practices. It helps people become not just a good guest, but a great guest. It helps them sell their stuff when they're being interviewed by the digital or print media. I also want to give you a book that I wrote called 7 Secrets to Broadcast Radio Excellence. It's a precise outline for leveraging your broadcast, or even a podcast, or even internet radio. It really helps people take their voice and get it out there. And then I also have a database I'll give people. It's a database of over 700 media contacts. That includes their name, their email, and what station they work for, and their phone number. So before you start getting that and start doing cold calling, you want to make sure you review the media training so you talk them properly. And then I've got one more product. It's a program I did called Become the Authority. It's probably about a 6 or 7 hour program, depending how fast you read and go through the videos. But it includes a blueprint, an ebook, 3 video tutorials, and some really great checklists to build your fan base and sell a book before it's even published. It's a $1,000 program. It retails for $9.97. I want to give it to your people at no cost whatsoever, okay? And that's what they're going to get. They're going to get the strategy session with me. They're going to get the broadcast secrets, media checklist, the media list, and that $9.97 product, Become the Authority system, okay? The total value I'm going to give to people is $2,545, right? $2,500. And all you got to do to get this for free is call me. Set up an appointment, qualify, and boom. You get all that at no cost whatsoever. Okay? Now, the question, of course, comes up. How do I qualify, Doug? Very simple. Fill out a survey, and there you go. I think I'm done. Here's why you should do it, okay? Get these bonuses. It doesn't cost you a dime. It'll take you half an hour to fun with me. And if you qualify, great. If you don't, we had a great conversation. The bonuses are only available for qualified candidates, so after our phone call, I'll give you the download links, and it's quite simple to do. So if you wait, you're going to miss out. Do these 3 things. authorityfusion.com/strategy. Choose, you get to book my calendar, choose a consultation time, and we'll have a productive conversation. I'm a Skype guy, so all you do is set up on Skype, and we'll chat and go from there. Now, obviously, these private consultations require my most valuable asset, which is my time. So they're limited by the hours in the day. Okay, a little over half of my slots next week are already taken. So if you want this, go to authorityfusion.com/strategy, and I'd love to talk to your people. That's it.
Wow, Doug, that was a lot of information really, really quick, right? Guys, listen, this is your chance to absolutely find out if this kind of traffic strategy is right for you. It was right for me, obviously. To get 5,000 hits in 48 hours is exactly what most of us need. And the other thing I know about Doug is that he doesn't have a lot of time, and he's got right now about 10 spots that are available, and I see already one is taken. But anyway, so just go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. I actually put the button right inside so you can take advantage of the offer. There is no charge for this. No charge. And so there's no reason why you wouldn't want to take advantage of this, at least get the bonuses, but more importantly, take advantage of some of Doug's time and expertise, because this man right here has some amazing strategies that I have never, ever seen before. Never seen before, and that's why I had to bring you on the webinar, because anybody to get 5,000 hits and be found all over the planet with the article, and it just keeps on going. The traffic keeps on coming every day. Even though it was a few days ago, it's still going, and so people are reading it. People are they're absolutely watching what's happening, and they're coming in and they're clicking on the website, and then it's up to me to do a good job on the website to convert them, right? So that's what it comes down to. So if you have a product or a service to sell, if you have an opt-in, something like that you can absolutely put in place on your sales page, even in Facebook, you can have an opt-in. You can absolutely take advantage of this. I'm going to open this up for chat right now. If anybody has any questions, I want you to type those questions in. I just enabled chat for all of you to be able to just go ahead and type your questions in, because Doug is here to help answer those questions, so that you can find out if this is for you. Now, short and sweet. We're at 42 minutes into this, and the presentation's over. Now it's just time for questions, and Doug is here to answer them if you have any questions at all, or if you are wondering if this is for you. I mean, who doesn't want 1,000 to 5,000 targeted hits to your website in 48 hours? I mean, this is unbelievably crazy way to get this kind of traffic. And think about the credibility of these authority websites that are giving you a backlink, which Google just eats up. They just love this authority, the authority website backlinks, because you just don't get those anywhere else. But anyway, so please put your questions in, and we can go from there. I'm getting questions actually on my phone right now, which is quite interesting that people are messaging me on my phone, which is cool. But Doug, here's a question right here: is there a catch? I mean, this is free. Is there a catch?
Yeah, you got to be present on the phone with me. You got to actually get on the phone and be honest and transparent about who you are and where you want to go. Because I have a few people that puff a little bit. Hey, just tell me where you are. If you're just starting out, that's cool. If you've got a lot of experience or you don't think it'll work, I guarantee you, within 15 minutes on the phone, you could be making nuts and bolts, and I'll find a way to link you to a trending topic. So, is there any catch? You just got to be transparent and dedicate 20, 30 minutes with me, and we'll have fun. Guarantee it. The answer is no. No catch.
Great. Okay. Here's another one that's coming in from Facebook on my phone again. How can you do this for free?
I'm just a generous guy. I mean, I like doing. I'm gonna invest my time for free. The actual media work and syndication is not free, but the consultation to establish it and to figure out how it'll work for you, that is.
So, guys, this is like going to the traffic specialist. This is not social media traffic. This is legitimate, real traffic that's coming from all of these news websites, coming straight into you, and you're basically going to have a consultation with a doctor that's going to get you there very quickly and very easily. And I'm telling you, this is something that absolutely works incredibly well, incredibly quick as well. So here's another one coming in from my phone, Doug. What? Okay, so now what? I've clicked the button, and what's next?
You schedule a time on my calendar, and you pick a time, and we'll hop on Skype. I'll be on Skype, so you've got to be on Skype to do this. If you don't, you get a Skype account, and whatever you schedule a time, I'll make it happen. And if we got to reschedule, we'll reschedule. But 90% of the time, I can take the time that's on the calendar, and we'll talk.
Great. And here's another question that's coming in: is how many of these have you done?
Oh my gosh, I can't even count. Let me be a little bit of a long answer if that's okay. But a lot of people look at this as they use the word press release. I don't do those. Press releases are boring. It's like, oh, ABC company did something today. Nobody cares. So we take more time for this. We actually do a news story about one a day, maybe sometimes two a day. But we'll take a trending topic. Sometimes we'll write about the topic and just write about it. But sometimes we want to get your commentary in there. So I've been a journalist for quite some time. A lot of times I'm actually talking about my own stuff, right? But more often than not, I'm helping clients out with their book or their brand. So
Right.
we don't do it's not a factory. It's very
Right.
boutique. I'll take care of a person one at a time.
One at a time.
Yep.
Right, one at a time. Okay. So I'm seeing we've got 4 people that have taken advantage. We've got 6 spots left, which is
Great.
awesome. I mean, I can't imagine with all the people on this call why everybody isn't wanting to take advantage of
Yeah.
this.
What's wrong with you guys? Come on. I won't bite. We'll have fun.
Right, it's just a call, right? It's a
Yeah,
Skype call.
absolutely.
It's not like somebody's trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner.
No. Here, and let me be a little transparent about that too, because a lot of people think, oh, I got to get in the call. The guy's gonna hard sell me. That doesn't work. That's just dumb. We're gonna have a nice conversation for 25 minutes, okay? If you at the end of that 25 minutes, you can say thank you very much, or you can say, Doug, how can I hire you? It's that.
Right.
But after 25 minutes, you'll say, hey, this sounds great, or thanks for the education, bye bye.
Right, and this is not.
Either way, we both win.
And this is not a new style of vacuum cleaner. This is like a whole new way to get traffic to whatever you want it to be. That's incredibly legitimate. Imagine having your article, your content picked up by CNN, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC. That's what it's all about here, guys. This is not a new type of vacuum cleaner that's going to just suck the dirt out of your carpet better. This is a whole new realm. I'm calling it Web 5.0 because this is a whole new way of getting traffic that has nothing to do with social media, has nothing to do with actually even paying for the clicks. This is one time, get in there, get it done. You're not paying for the clicks. You're not ongoing having to keep on paying. This is something that is incredibly much better than that, and it's not a new vacuum cleaner, the new style that just sucks up the dirt faster. This is a legitimate way that I have used myself now, and I had to share it with you guys. In fact, I'm seeing people going, wow, for free we get all this. And it's crazy. Yes, you get all of this, and you get all the bonuses just for taking advantage of the call. And look, what do you have to lose by having someone else look at your things and see how you can be positioned in a different way in order to be found more often? In my case, 5,000 times in 48 hours. In other people's case, more than 1,000 times. I mean, Doug is under-promising here. He said to me, we can get 1,000 views, we can get 1,000 clicks right onto the website. I'm like, okay, cool. I want 1,000 clicks. 5,000 later? I mean, really?
Yeah, just imagine what we're going to do like next week and next month, because like I said, campaigning is really critical. That was just the prime the pump to get started.
Right.
Once we do it every month, like we're actually going to be doing some video work on a story for CNN about your topic coming up tomorrow.
CNN.
So,
CNN.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's huge. Okay, so guys, take advantage of this. You don't have anything to lose. There are just a couple spots left, and that's it. And Doug is going to shut it down. So this is your chance to get in, schedule the appointment, and it'll be in your time zone, right? The appointment will be in your time zone, regardless of where you are around the world, right?
Yeah, we're all traveling a little bit, and everything sort of crosses over. So if we got to do it at 6 at night or 8 in the morning, we can work around anyone's calendar. Like I said, I'm traveling quite a bit next week or so, so it'll be hit and miss. So put a time down there, schedule a call, and let's have some fun on the phone, and we can learn about each other.
And just take it to another level. You just have you just no idea where this is going to go. I had no idea I was going to get this kind of traffic in 48 hours. Guys, really, this is something else. Just please take advantage of it. I don't even know how do I beg people to take advantage of something for free?
Nah.
Can you go back to the bonuses that they get, and let's go back through that again, because the bonuses are incredible.
Okay, so I'm going to decide. Not everybody's going to qualify because some people just, like I said, they might not like it or whatnot. Who knows? But here's what I'm giving away. The first bonus, okay, it's 21 best practices. There's a lot of people that, I got on this guy's podcast and I heard these podcasts and they stink. You got to learn how to speak properly, give sound bites, good information, and be compelling enough that people want to contact you. So before you do any interview, you got to learn how to engage your audience and sell your stuff seamlessly and sort of subtly, actually. The book that I wrote, The 7 Broadcast Radio Secrets, comes from my time as being a radio host. And I'm going to tell you exactly what hosts are looking for and a precise outline to leverage your next interview, whether it be on the podcast or internet radio. My media contacts, this is something that I don't, the reason I'm doing this, Jim, is quite frankly, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give this away to everybody because my people will hate me. So for you guys, I'm giving away one of my prized possessions, which is my media contacts. But before you, like I said, before you even think about contacting these people, you've got to go through the earlier trainings here so that you don't blow the lead, right? So you got to do these work together. And the last one, this thing is a product that took me, years in the making. I just pulled through the digital format of it. This Become the Authority. It's for people who want to actually be positioned as an authority figure. And this is not really related to the news. It's related to publishing. And I use an example of a book in this publishing stream, how to become the authoritative figure. The videos are high quality. The blueprint is very succinct. But what I'm most excited about in this product, is the reason it's not that cheap, are the checklists. Because people miss 80% of what they have to do to be positioned as authority. I've spent my experience building these checklists. There's 3 of them in there that builds fan bases and pre-sells your product, whether it be a book or anything else. So those are 3 bonuses I'm giving away, and they look like this: the strategy session with me, the 2 books, the checklist, the media list, and the Become the Authority system. So that's it right there. Period.
That's a huge amount of value just for showing up for a meeting.
I like you. I like your people. So,
Doug, honestly, we've never given anything away just to show up for a meeting for free. Normally the bonuses come afterwards.
I know, right? But you know what? I want to help people out, and listen, I like doing this, okay? And I expect that, these slots all fill up, and then I don't have to give it away anymore. I can sell it the next time. So this is my way of saying thanks for putting me on your webinar and letting me talk to your people. So let's get going.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's it, right there. Fill out the survey. Let's go.
Go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. There is absolutely no charge for this, guys. You get all the bonuses. Just sign up and see if you qualify. And the qualification isn't that difficult either. I qualified. So it must be
let me have another question. Let me just tell you real briefly. You're a funny guy. Listen, qualifying is showing up and not being a jerk. That's it. And so far, all the people I've talked to in your community, and they're all wonderful people. So I suspect everybody who contacts me, sets an appointment up, and we have a nice conversation, you're going to qualify. I'll give you all those bonuses. Whether we engage each other and actually do business after the fact or not, I don't know. That's what qualification is. It's saying, hey, do you see value in what I have to do for you, and do we want to work together? We won't know that through an email. We won't know that through a picture or a single news story. We know that through a conversation. That's why I like doing these things, because it's more interesting to me to meet people and find out what they're all about and say, hey, man, yeah, we could put you in this news story, or, you know what, I got something coming up next month that'll be perfect for that. Because sometimes it's immediate, but sometimes there's nothing trending that's going to work. But we have to wait for a week or 2. Most of the time, I get them in the first 48 hours, though. It's a hoot. I love it.
Here's a comment. No pitch here, right? There's no pitch. There's no sale. No price. It's free.
Technically, yeah. I mean, if they're complaining, then just don't call me. But a pitch normally means I'm going to pitching a sale. I'm offering my time to you. So if you don't want to hear me offer my time, then that's okay. It's hard to tell if chat is if they're a complaint or they're making a funny. I don't know.
By the way, Chemistry, we'll check right after the webinar's over to see if the registration is through.
Yeah.
But we'll just check right after.
Yeah.
On this right here. Okay, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
No worry about that. Right?
And I'm available online. If there's some reason they get messed up, just go to Facebook and find me, and we'll chat. You know, it's all good.
Great. Okay. It looks like there are a couple slots left, and that's it.
Okay.
And I don't want to waste a bunch of people's time. It's 5:55. It's just under an hour.
Yeah.
So this is your chance. We'll hang out for another 5 minutes or so, and
that's fine. Yeah.
let her rip.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do more of this non-pitching stuff where I say, hey man, my time's open. Love to talk to you. Free for free.
Yep, free, right? Isn't it awesome? All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. I tell you what, this is something to take advantage of, at least to learn more about how you can absolutely take advantage of this kind of traffic. This is Web 5.0 traffic. This is not anything like you've seen before. And imagine being an authority in all these different news sites, and it's just all over the place. Hundreds of times, and generating you traffic from all over the globe, frankly,
yeah, absolutely.
to your website and that kind of thing. So, guys, just take advantage of this. We're probably going to shut this down in just a couple minutes. Doug, you have anything else to add?
No, I just, like I said, I get a genuine thrill out of meeting people, whether it's online or in person. But I love hearing about new businesses, new ideas, and one of the things that really turns me on is spinning a story in the news. It's a lot of fun for me because I look at all the people just struggling out there. I mean, think about it, Jim. There's 20 spots available on the first page of Google, depending on how it's set up.
Right.
And there are at least 10,000 people that want those 20 spots. I'm sorry, the math does not work. Okay, it's not everybody can be on page one. What's on page one are authority sites, and news ranks high. News ranks higher. It ranked higher than in my cases, ranked higher than Forbes, Huffington Post. You know, it's just the way it works. So the only way to get up there in the stream of online exposure is you got to be in the news. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Guys, thank you so much for the questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And we will see you again either with Doug or on another webinar someday. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.